Hello everyone, Mr. Kiley here with Martial Arts America, Team Navarre. Today is Tuesday, April the 14th. This is your Junior Adult, Intermediate, and Advanced and Adult Psi class. So the BBT class work in the Psi form. We've technically completed all of the Junior Adult, Intermediate, and Advanced Psi form, but also understanding we only test on a third of what this entire form actually is. So to kind of, if you guys are having fun on the part of the Psi form we've learned at this point and you feel really comfortable with it, I'm going to teach you some more today, because the adults technically test on all 3/3 on the entirety of the form. Okay, Junior Adult, Intermediates, and Advanced only test on the first third, which is the part where we've gotten to this point. So again, I'm going to teach you a little bit more, and it's up to you guys if you want to learn that more, if you're intermediate advanced belt, or just kind of stay where you're at. So when we get to that point, you can kind of just resharpen up what you already have, and then we'll rejoin as we move along, or you can just kind of add to your knowledge base and start practicing more of the form that you didn't already know. Okay, so we're going to start just by loosening up your wrists. So I'm going to put one side away for right now. Very good. Okay, just help getting those wrists loosened up. Also help kind of waking up not just your wrist but your fingers. Good, because right now you're very used to, when you're doing all the different strikes, your fingers are being used to being in very set positions. Whether you're punching or you're chopping or you're blocking or whatever you're doing, your hands are only in so many positions when working kata, when working forms. And so when you're doing weapons forms and your hands are open and moving the whole time and your fingers are moving, it's important to warm up your fingers a little bit and get them acclimated to what they're doing. Also getting used to doing your individual flips to different positions, whether that's up, good, or out, or down, with your eyes closed, to just getting everything from feel. Same thing with both of them. And that's what this is kind of a variation of what you already know. Because at this point we do this. You take and you leave the Psi where it is, and you bring your hand around the Psi, right? That's the beginner, it's the initial way to work. Okay, the individual Psi flip from offense to defense, from open to close. As you get further along with your weapon, you get more confident in it, and you start to trust it to actually travel a little bit and move. Good, that's where we get moves like this, where instead of me taking and flipping my hand around the Psi, we leave my hand more where it is, and you let the Psi rotate around your hand. So it's actually that. And the way you do that, keeping it pinched within the webbing of your thumb. Good, and I just kind of bend my wrist in. See how the Psi kind of bends underneath. And as I push and I whip my wrist out and point it at me, good, then you're going to open up your hand, but keep that webbing tight. Just open up your fingers, and you'll see it rotate. And then as it finishes its rotation, you grab the Suka. Good, and there you are, positioned open. Good, so one more time, it's just that. Good. To get it back, you do the same idea. From here, I keep that webbing tight, so I kind of position and lock my finger, and then I pull it inwards as you open up your fingers, and it spins underneath you, and you grab it. Good. The trick, though, is when you do this one from in to out, from defense to offense, you want to bend your elbow in and then straighten your arm out. Okay, but when you go from offense to defense, notice how my elbow doesn't bend yet. It doesn't bend until it's already back in position, because I don't want to bend my elbow now, because then it comes too close to my body, as you can see. So when you go from here to back to defense, you just use your wrist. I don't use my elbow. I keep my arm straight and I just pop my wrist, and then it flips back to there. Then you can bend the elbow in. Just remember those steps. From in to out, it's okay to bend the elbow and then flip out. From out to in, keep your elbow straight. Or at the very most, just slightly bent. Don't fully bend it, because then the Psi will come back and poke you. I don't want that. Okay, so now we have combination number 1 we worked on last week. Okay, from here, that is the fan, strike, down block, double punch combination. Getting very fluent with that. Little things we started working on last week when you do the block to strike transition, making sure it's not a giant over-exaggerated move. And so I don't want to go here and then pull it back. I always want to try to avoid pulling the Psi back behind my head at any point in time. Just asking to hit yourself on accident, okay? Or if the Psi slips and falls, just asking for bad things to happen. So instead, you rely on your wrist and the actual weight of the Psi. It's heavy. It's gonna, whenever it hits something, no matter what it is, it's gonna hurt. So I don't have to swing very hard to get it to do the strike I want to do. It's more just 1, 2. See how it stays in the front of my body? I rely a lot on my wrists, not as much on my elbows. So it's not as much this like you're throwing a ball. It's more of a snap. Okay, we talked about the Harry Potter magic wand last time. Bop, that's what I want. Very good. And then down block, double punch. And so same thing with both hands. Out, wrist snap. Okay, it's a roll. Still use the weight of it. down block, double strike. One more time on this side. Make sure anytime you go to do a fan block, you want to not just use your arm, you want to use your trunk and your body. You pull your body closed as you fan. And then as you open it up, that's when your chest opens up and strikes. So you're following your body as you do it. Your body's following your arm. And then combination 2 was kind of the quicker variation. It's the strike to quick flip to quick down block. Okay, this is where you're starting to learn to use the weight of the side to your advantage. And in the beginning, especially if this is your first side rotation, it's really, the side is very intimidating because it's heavy and it's kind of sharp. And so it's hard, it's distracting when you're using it to not think about it falling. And so it's to kind of be intimidated by it. But as you get more comfortable with it and you know where it's going to go and you trust yourself more, then you can do things like this, where you're actually just spinning the side around your hand and using the weight of it to actually spin it faster. So again, it's punch, and then from there I keep my hand out, and all I do is open up my fingers while keeping my thumb tight, and it falls down. And then I grab it. That quickly then rotates your wrist over to that fan block. And then all I do is as I turn my hand back down where it was, I make sure my thumb goes into the yoka. So from here, as I'm turning my wrist back downwards, like I'm pouring, good, I lock my thumb, and then I spin it and open my fingers, and it goes down like that. Good. So it's all on that pinch here. Good. Punch, I pinch and flip, and then I lock and pinch as I flip and down. There we go. Other hand, punch, let it low, flip, down. Punch, flip, down. That's the trickiest, the hardest part about the sai is most of the power comes from, again, your wrists, which you're not used to using that often to this point, because everything in martial arts to this point we've done has been with a straight wrist, except for maybe a palm heel strike. Everything like a knife hand or a ridge hand or a punch or a spear hand, all the other moves you've done have been very straight. So we're not used to getting a lot of flexion in our wrists. So it's normal to kind of have your arms get really tired, okay, or have your body not really know what it's doing in the very beginning, because you're doing a lot of movements that even if you've been in martial arts for a year, even if you've been in black belt training for a little while, sai is just way different than all the other weapons you're going to use because of the weight of it, because there's 2 of them, good, and because you're using it different. There's a lot, you're using your hands a lot more than the normal weapon. Very good. Even if you remember the kama, if you did kama, okay, and if not, we're doing that one next. There's a little hand motion to your hand roll for your kama, but that's about it. There's not a lot of finger things going on. With sai, it's all in the hands. Okay, so let's work. We're going to work our form together as a team. We're going to get what we got last time, and we're going to add on a little bit to it. Ready? Sai's in the left side of your right hand's in the left side of your belt. We go rest. Ready? You scoop, just like in fire form, that block we practiced today. You're going to turn and down block. Step forward, drop down punch, so your right knee is down. Sorry, right knee is up, left knee is down. Grab with your right hand. Slide back, turn your stomach towards away from the camera. Very good. So your back should be to me. Fan, strike, down block, double punch. That combo 1. Good. Pull the right hand into you as you open up the left hand. Your right foot's going to turn. Your left foot is going to circle over into a straight line where that Fugel stance is. As you fan block out, and then I open up my stance to Chungle. Good. Down, down block, punch right, punch left. Open up the right hand, pull the left hand to you. So the kind of theme there with all 3 of these combinations, whichever hand punches last, which is the front hand, very good, you end up pulling it to your belt, opening up the other hand. And then my front foot, what was my front foot, stays where it is, and my back foot slides. Good. Fan, open up, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Turn your feet back to the way you just were. Step forward with your right foot, dodging a strike as I turn to the front. So you're facing towards me now. You should be looking at my back. High cover, low cover, high cover. Now we're on to combo number 2. Step forward, punch, fan, down block. Step, punch, fan, down block. Step, punch, fan, strike, down block, double punch. Okay, big breakaway. Hands open up. When I say open up, you just open up the fingers here, but you're still wrapping thumbs tight. Good. Circle. Pull to your body. You are in Fugel stance. Very good. Step right back out. Pivot that foot. Settle back into the Chungle stance you were just in. Double punch down towards your belt. Pull them back in. Double punch high towards your forehead. Open them both up. Cross them in front of your belt. as you lift up, you are going to kind of slide your leg back to you. It's almost kind of build up power. So I slide so I can then stomp and strike. And then I double down block. Good. Punch, punch. Break away. Okay, very good. That part's really hard to see because my back was to you the entire time. So we're going to do that part again, but I'm going to face you guys. Okay? So we're going to go from, we did combo this way, combo that way, combo to the back wall. So right when we turned and did the high block, low block, high block. So we're going to go there, okay? So it's 1, 2, yep, 1, 2, 3. There we go, sorry. Step with that right foot. Punch with your right hand. Fan. Down block. Step. Punch. Fan. Down block. Step last time. Punch. Fan. Again, small shuffle into the strike. So that's kind of a common theme you'll also know when doing the form. A lot of times when we do this little strike, when we go from 1 to 2, there's a little stutter step just to add power. Down block, punch, punch, pull, good, step out, punch down, pull back in, punch up, open them both up, cross them in front of your waist, very good. Bring it up, and as you do that, the energy should let your leg kind of come back to you so that as I settle it down, my hands go out. And kind of like we talked about before, I want your wrist to handle the energy. So what that means, just kind of watch from the side. When I do this move, I'm not going here. Again, I just never really want the hands to come behind my head if I can avoid it. Unless there's a particular move that does that. In this case, it's just up, it stays in front of my body, and all I do is square them up and then snap it down. Okay, so it's lift, good, uncross, snap it down. Double down block, punch left, punch right, pull back. Excellent. So let's do that a little bit more fluidly, kind of getting the individual techniques down. So again, we just turned and faced towards me. We did a high block from a jungle stance. Back hands in tight to your body. Low block, high block. Advance with your right side. Punch. Quick flip to fan. Quick flip to down block. Punch with the left side. Make sure you settle into that jungle stance. Fan. Down block. Step. Punch. Fan. Strike. Down block. Punch, punch, pull, step out, double punch low, about belt high, pull back in, double punch high, about forehead high, cross and lift, and then strike. To double down block, punch left, punch right, slide back to Fugel stance. Okay, so now we're going to go through the form a little bit faster. And again, faster doesn't mean we're trying to race. Faster just means we're going a little bit more fluidly through the combinations, focusing on transitioning stances properly, focusing on transitioning, going from move to move properly without rushing. Okay, so that's why practicing the individual combinations, that's why we spend the beginning of each class doing that part so deliberately, is so that we don't have to think about it anymore. Good? Your body already knows what it's going to do. Good. So when I say combo 1, it launches out that combination nice and strong. Same thing for combo 2, because at this point, if you're having to think about what those moves are still and figure out where our feet are going, it's hard to do those things at the same time. So your checklist should be to really get all the strikes down, all the combinations down, so that when we start to do different stances and move around with your form, that part's a lot easier because you can focus on that because your strikes are already locked into your brain. And if not, that's okay. Again, we're not to the point where you have to do the form all by yourself perfectly. Right now, is if we can do it together, you're in a good place. Okay, so take your right hand side, put it on the left side of your belt. Let's go a little bit more fluidly. Turn to the left. Step back with your left foot and down block. There. Good. Step forward, drop down punch. From there, you're going to, again, when you drop down, keep the ball of your back foot on the ground because you're going to go from here to right back up. So I drop down punch, grab my right hand to my side, stand, I turn, I open up to the inside of my body. As I slide back, I fan, and then I step my foot right back where it was, but over more. There, jungle, strike down, down block, punch left, punch right. Good. From here, turn your feet towards the back wall, so turn away from me. So you're still able to hear me, though. Open up your left hand, slide your left foot over to where your feet are in a straight line, going to the right. Good. Fan, open up, strike, down block, punch right, punch left. Right hand open. Very good. Turn that right foot towards the back wall, completely away from me. Fan, so we're not mirroring each other. You should have your back to me at this point. Fan, open up, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Take your feet, turn to the left. Good. take your right foot, step forward. Good. Take both feet, turn towards me, turn towards the front of the room. Very good. High block, low block, high block. Stay there. At this point, I'm mirroring you. So now we're coming towards each other. Very good. We're here. Step forward, punch, fan, down block. Step forward, punch, fan, down block. Step 2 one more time. Punch, fan, small little rear back, and then smash down, down block, punch, punch, pull back. Good. Double punch down, double punch up, open it up, raise it up, strike it down, double down block, punch left, punch right, slide back. Good. Okay, I know a little fast there. I just want to kind of show you what the rhythm's going to end up being. Okay, now we're going to go from there. We're going to add on to it a little bit. Again, at this point, if you don't want to learn this next part, if what you know now is plenty for you, then stay where you are. Just practice the form on your own maybe, or practice the combinations, or just get some water and come back in a minute. Good. If you want to learn more, if you're an adult student, this is the next part of your form, so definitely stay with me, okay? Okay, from here, it has the same kind of theme. We just did this, okay? So you're going to turn and face completely away from me. Very good. Your left leg ends up being in the front, and it is a high block and a low block and a high block. Very good. Okay, now from here, if you just want to get the actual combinations down, then we'll put it in the form at some point. So it's here, and then from there you take out your right hand. Good. So your left foot's in the front. You open up your right hand side. Your left hand stays where it is. Okay, from there you lift up your right leg. You break away, down. Very good. You put it back into a closed position. You turn and down block to the right side. Punch, punch. It's kind of wild, right? So 1, 2, 3. So somebody grabs that ankle and I open up my side and I break away so that they don't no longer, I just hit them in the hand. And then I close it as I turn to the right and down block, punch left, punch right. And then I do the same exact thing this way. So what I do is I open up my left hand, I pivot my feet. My left hand lifts up this time. My left leg lifts up this time. Left hand breaks away as my right hand is high, doing a high block. Turn, down block, punch right, punch left. Okay, that part's kind of tricky, again. So we did here. And again, for intermediate advanced belts, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to. It's I turn my right leg over, my left foot pivots. So I'm facing the back wall, my left foot's in the front, my right foot's in the back. I still do that combo, 1, 2, 3. Open up my right hand, leave my left hand high, strike down, hook it back, down block, punch left, punch right. And then same thing to the left. I open up my left hand, right hand is a high block. I close my left hand, down block to the left, punch right, punch left. Very good. Okay, just to kind of see what that combination was without me kind of, so I can, if you would like to just turn face me, we can do that combo, but we're going to face this way and do it. Good? So again, we just did, this would go to the back of the room, but for right now, for learning purposes, if you want to face towards the camera so you can see what's going on and stay with me, that's fine. Okay, so we go high, low, high, open it up, 1 with the right hand, turn, down, good, punch, punch, open up the left hand, keep the right hand high, down, fold it, down block, punch right, punch left. And again, all that will be done facing away from the front of the room, but it's kind of hard to learn that for the first time facing backwards. Okay, so again, now we're going to take time. We're going to work to that point at some point. We're going to go back and just do the regular form you guys know, good, facing the normal direction. Okay, so we're going to lock and load your side. So if you kind of if you stepped away for a second, come back so we can all work the form together. We're doing what you know now. Okay, so you're here, we're locked and loaded, rest and ready. Rotate your right arm, turn to the left, down block, step forward, drop down punch, grab, turn. As you slide, there's the fan. Make sure your backhand's by your belt. As you turn your side open, that's your moment to pivot that foot and open up your stance. Strike. Down block, punch left, punch right. Open up your left hand, turn the right hand to your body. As you pick this foot up, again, the back foot becomes the front foot because I'm turning. So from here, as I turn, go ahead and find the spot where your foot's going to go, and then I pivot this foot and fan. Open up, strike, down block, punch, punch. Open up the right hand. As my left foot leans, I kind of transfer the weight to the heel of my foot more, and then I turn and slide back. Good. Open up, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. I pick up my right foot. I'm going to take my back foot. I'm going to pivot on it, on the ball of my foot, and put my foot. And the most important part to finding a stance and changing stances is see where that foot's going. Okay, if you know where your foot's going before it goes there, it makes it a lot easier to get there when you're not looking at it. Okay, that's a lot of words. What that means is, okay, in this movement, show you one time. Ready? Okay, now again, what makes that easy is if I just go ahead and know before I step, okay, this foot, it's going to go like right there. So you kind of look for the floor of where it's going. Okay, so I know it's going over there. Draws a straight line across the body. So when I pick my foot up and I turn, I go ahead and find that spot with my foot. Now I can get my eyes on target and do the next part of the form. High block, low block, high block. Okay, so we'll do one more time. Come back. So again, you probably have your back to me right now, which is fine. Your right foot's in the front, left foot's in the back. You're doing that turn to face back towards the camera. Okay, look on the floor where it's going, okay, which is right across. It draws a straight line. Your front foot's going to go straight over beside you. So when you do that, you lift up that foot, and then I pivot the other foot and set that foot down. High block, low block, high block. Now you're coming towards me. Good, we're here. Step forward, punch, fan, down block, punch, fan, down block. And this even counts for like the steps we're doing here. So a lot of times when I see students do chungle stances advancing, they get way too narrow. They end up going like this, which I don't really know what that is. So it's very important when you're stepping with these stances to make sure that even now when you step, you can go ahead and kind of spot on the floor where that foot's going to go. You keep it wide. I step, find the spot and punch, fan, strike, down block, punch, punch, pull back, good, find that spot, good, double punch down, double punch up, open them, chamber it up, strike down, double down block, punch left, punch right, pull back. Very good. And if you want to practice that combination that we just did, we'll do it we'll keep going the same direction doing it, so it's a little easier to remember. That's just for the adults only, or anybody else wants to kind of learn it. High block, low block, high block, open up the right hand. Good, strike down, down block, punch, punch, open up the left hand, down, down block, punch, fan, down. There's a lot more really cool stuff to happen in this form that will come with time. At this point, we're getting to the point where we have the intermediates and advanced belts. We have the entirety of your form. You've seen it. You may not have learned it yet, but you've seen it. And that's a big, big difference. Okay, so just because you've seen it, I don't want you to think that if you try to do it by yourself, you're going to knock the whole form out. Now, some can, some will, which is awesome. But if you don't, that's okay. Okay, seeing it a couple times and even doing it with me, doing it together as a team, doesn't mean that you've remembered it yet. Okay, that just means that when we get in this moment and you get your memory re-jogged a little bit, that everything starts coming back to you and you're in a comfortable state. So it's easier to do because we're doing it together. Okay, when you get by yourself and you do it, good, a lot of times it can be a little bit nerve-wracking because there's no safety net. There's no one there watching you, or like you're not doing it with me. So if you do a different move, you don't know if it's wrong or not, right? And so we're not yet to the stage where you're doing it all by yourself, or at least we're not yet to where that is super important. Okay, that will come in about a month. For right now, it's can you do it with us? When we do it together as a team, as I'm doing the form, can you do it with us? And do you know what move is coming next? Good. If you can start, that should be your next goal. As we're going through the combinations, good. So like once we finish combination number 1 and we're going this way, good, and we down block, punch, punch, something in your brain should go, I know what's next. I know the next move. This hand should start to open up. Your body should start to turn this way. And you're starting to not get ahead of us, but just as we're doing it, you're not waiting for me to tell you the answer. You're just confirming the answer. So that means when I say turn to your left, open up and strike, you go, yep, that's what it is. Because you know that's what the answer is. You're just waiting for me to double check it for you. That's kind of the growth point. That's where we're trying to get to now. Again, it's not that you have to know all the answers, not that you have to know everything by yourself. If you do, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. It's not where we are yet. Okay, right now you're just trying to double check and see what you know. You're staying with us. As long as if I say Fugel stance, you can do a Fugel stance. We're good. If I say do a fan block, you know what that means. If I say do combination number 1, you know what that means. If I say do combination number 2, you know what that means. Good. If I say that weird turn, you know what that means. All those little things. Okay, that's where we are. I feel like you guys are all doing a great job with that. If you're having any trouble on any of the combinations or the form itself, you can have your parents film it and send it to me, or we can talk about it on the phone. We can figure something out. Okay, the biggest thing is if you're struggling with something, Talk about it. Don't get upset about it. Good. Talk to your parents about it. Talk to me about it. We'll figure it out together. Okay. Our whole goal every class is just to make sure that now at the end of class, are you better than you were when class started? Even if it's just by this much. If so, then good. Okay. Excellent job today, guys. Feet together. Bow. Good intermediates. That's all for you today. Advanced belts, your class is coming up in a couple minutes. All right. Go to the bathroom, get some water, come right back. You are dismissed.